Hi everyone, the Lone Wolf here, and welcome to some more EVE Online Rubicon news. So I am actually going to do this one from Jita, from the couch, because at the moment I am in a wormhole, and so I don't really have any AFK activities like ice mining or something like that I can do while I cover something like a dev blog or a dev post. But there are a few dev posts that I found and that were linked on Reddit that I think are pretty important and very good news for a lot of players. So let's check them out. Let's start out with finding the actual posts. This time they are not in the features and ideas discussion, which is here, but in the test server feedback. And I'll start with the best news. Rubicon Tech Tree Subsystems refitting in space. This is finally going to be implemented in EVE Online Rubicon. So this has always been asked, especially by the wormhole community, that they would be able to switch their subsystems on their Tech Tree ships inside wormhole space. At the moment this is only possible from inside a station or an outpost, and so whenever you are in wormhole space there is absolutely no way to replace a subsystem on one of your Tech Tree ships. This is now going to be implemented in EVE Online Rubicon and will be possible from an SMA, a ship maintenance array, a capital ship with fitting services like the Orca, or even from the new deployable mobile depot. So you will be able to change the subsystems just like in a station. You can drag and drop them to the fitting window to refit. Any modules that need to be unfitted will be returned to your cargo hangar. The replaced subsystems will return to the destination that the new subsystem was taken from. For example, if you decide to use a new engineering subsystem from an Orca fleet hangar, the subsystem you currently have fitted will be placed into the Orca fleet hangar or in the mobile depot or the SMA or wherever it is that you've placed them. So that's of course extremely good news for wormhole dwellers. They'll be able to switch around from cloaky tech trees to heavy PvE fits, maybe even to something more like a probing fit and stuff like that, without actually having to leave the wormhole or having to have three tech trees ready for them. One thing to keep in mind that I noticed here, let me quickly see right here. While we are placing modules from your ship into your cargo hold, you can overload your cargo this way. It's important to remember this and make sure you can safely store away the modules which were removed. So what I think is that you can unfit stuff into your cargo and then go above your limit, but you won't be able to reclose the fitting window if your cargo is over its limit. So you do have to keep in mind that you can't just stock in all possible subsystems and then expect to be able to just work your way around the fact that there's a limit to your cargo. This does of course also mean that the usefulness of this feature in the deployable mobile depot is going to be quite limited, because only the amount of subsystems and modules that you can actually take in your tech tree inside that cargo space are the stuff that you can switch out. But I do think for solo more risky stuff like in nullsec or like in lowsec, you could of course, if it's only like one subsystem that you have to switch out, you could actually go for a covered ops tech tree in your travels, and then when you found a nice empty system with no one else in local, you drop your mobile depot, you switch out your subsystem, and then you go for your more powerful PvE fit where you can do a couple of sites, some ratting in 0-0, or maybe depending on what you find, some data sites or relic sites, stuff like that. It will mean a lot more versatility for the tech tree ships, and potentially if you can manage the cargo space well enough, you might just have be traveling around in that tech tree while it's actually covered up, capable, or maybe even immune to bubbles and stuff like that. So it's really an awesome feature that they're planning to add to EVE Online Rubicon that's going to help out a lot of players, especially in wormhole space, but I think potentially in other space as well. Now add to that another pretty interesting announcement as well, which is, let's have a quick look here. Can I find it back? Because this here we go. This forum does move pretty quickly. Ships will now be dropping from SMA's ship maintenance arrays. So basically at the moment, if you destroy an SMA inside a POS, nothing will drop from it. I think that's how it works. After the change in Rubicon, when you destroy a ship maintenance array, this will be turned into a wreck, and inside this wreck you will have a 50% chance for the ships that were in the SMA before you destroyed it to actually be available there as well. I'm not 100% sure if you'll have to like eject the wreck, the ship, and then you'll be able to board it, or if you can like activate it from the wreck of the SMA or something like that. But yeah, it will definitely add a lot of incentive to go destroy stuff in wormhole space, because potentially you can have some very nice ships out of those ship maintenance arrays. And I think this will be another very nice small change and a nice driver for some conflict. So all in all, these two dev posts are extremely good news for wormhole dwellers. The tech tree change is going to make their life a lot easier, and the SMA change is just going to make warfare inside wormhole space that much more interesting, because destroying an SMA will also yield a kill mail, so you'll be able to see and show off all the stuff that you've managed to grab from enemy corporations inside wormhole space. Very, very interesting change, and awesome that CCP has actually managed to implement this, and will hopefully be able to manage to implement the Tech Tree subsystem refitting in space as well. That's been asked for so long. It's really thanks to the CSM and the thread that they had started for providing the reasonable things, where basically the player base could vote on the most pressing issues, that this Tech Tree subsystem refitting came very high on the list, and that CCP managed to get this done for EVE Online Rubicon. So yeah, very good news, I think. I hope everyone is looking forward to EVE Online Rubicon. I know I am. I can't wait to see it, especially now that I'm in a wormhole as well. Can't wait to use the deployable mobile depot, the new cruiser from the Sisters of Eve, and to check out all these new features. Sounds very promising. Anyways, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.